today's project's pretty neat. We're going to be modifying this Salsco Bale Grabber from two different versions of John Deere Quick Connects, quick attaches that have been welded on. You can see version 1's in black, version 2's in green, and they've been just slabbed on top of each other. And we're going to go about, and you see that chalk line right there that we've drawn down through, is I'm trying to match the attach angle of my skid steer quick attack pallet forks because they work perfect. The range of motion's amazing. And that's another project underneath. That's my pallet forks that I've cut and welded 2 bushings to run spears on, and I haven't put my forks back on since. That two spear setup is amazing. You can use it pallet forks, anything you want. Anyhow, I digress back to this project. So what we've done is it was missing the cylinder. So I've got a 3-inch, 10-inch stroke. It goes from 20 to 30 inches. 1-inch pins replaced on it. And we've extended and closed the grapple to the point that the cylinder is the furthest out. Measured it, it's just shy of 7 inches. So we need to make sure my quick attach plates and wherever I place them on this side of things has a little play so we don't run into that cylinder. So we're going to shoot for about 7.5. It'll give us just shy of 3/4 inch of play. And that should be perfect. And the whole purpose of that is I'm not trying to kill these little Kubota tractors. And when you have almost a foot of lever out here, before you even get to the further foot out bale, that bale is 2 feet out. That, on a silage bale, is a lot of leverage. And I'm trying to minimize that to the minimum amount. And that's pretty close to where I've drawn this chalk line down through. So what I'm going to go through is go about grinding off and using cutting wheels, since I don't have a plasma cutter, and cutting off basically 4 plates in a row. And once those are off, I can move on to step 2, which is welding a quick attach plate on. And here's the 1/2-inch quick attach plate we picked up. It's got 2 portions, the connecting piece in between. I've ordered a few of these over the years, and sometimes they come in bent and twisted and mangled. This one came actually in pretty decent shape. And that is what's going to go on and allow that Kubota to drive right up to and hook and go. So I am going to go ahead and mark things up. I don't know how much memory space and battery life I have, so I'm going to come back to you guys in a few minutes once I get things ground off. So we got the boss man out here now, aka my oldest boy, Roger. And what are we up to, Roger?
This upside down, and these should be upside up. This should be upside down.
Yeah, we flipped it over, didn't we? We flipped it over with the tractor?
Yeah.
We did. So Daddy got one side completely cut off, and we'll see how much more fine tuning I need to do to put the skid steer plate on. This side, you can see where I've cut down through and across, so that side's ready to come off. Now I gotta mess around with one more inside mount, and all that steel's in the way. As you can see, where I gotta cut down through is right by that plate, and then all through this junk. Hey Roger, did we get the mounts cut off? Yes, we did, didn't we? Yeah. So now that we get the mounts cut off, what's underneath it? What's that plate that we put underneath? Is that the new? Yeah. Is that a skid steer mounting plate?
Yeah.
So we've got the old John Deere mounts cut off. We got the skid steer mounting plate roughly centered to get an idea where it's going to hit. And the game plan, I think, because most of the weight is on the skid steer attachment plates, right where that support is located, is I think I'm going to take some of this box tubing and go just below that cross brace on both sides, which would ridge and mount between the 2 supporting steel pieces. And then I think something similar on the other end. I think it'll be sturdy. So a piece of box steel right between those 2. Same thing on that end, and I think we'll be good. So we have another plan to do on this bale grabber project. Is we got the 2 old mounting systems cut off that used to extend back, and we got it set up so it just clears the hydraulic cylinder with the quick attach plate mounted. The only kicker is the old school John Deere mounts are wider than the skid steer mounts. So what I have to do now is go through and just cut the welds, hold these brackets on, so we can slide everything in and it will match perfectly with that quick attach plate. But other than that, we should be good to go. So I got a little grinding to do, and we'll come back when we go to weld on the plates. But that's the plan. I think I'm actually going to shrink it instead of putting some box tubing and stuff like I was talking about doing before. This would be simpler, cleaner, and lighter. Sorry about the welder running in the background, but it's got to stay cooling down. So we've gone ahead. I redid mounting brackets on there, and if you can see, the two L-shaped brackets all point to the outside now. Otherwise, when I get to the end, this inside originally pointed out, and there would be no overlap in the main frame of this bale grabber. So I've cut them all off, ground them, spaced them back in so they sit on the skid steer plate. Same 1 inch in from each side. So we should be all good to go to finally weld this thing together. It's been quite the process, I should say. Whew, a lot of cutting, grinding. These are the mounts we ended up taking off. There's 2 different style John Deere quick attach mounts all gobbled together and welded on. We simplified, cut them down to the basic brackets and the skid steer plate. And it should be one pretty dang rugged bale grabber. And yeah, we're getting there slowly but surely. So I'm gonna get it welded, tacked on, and I'll probably actually come over with the tractor and hook onto it and see how it hitches up. So we'll come along shortly. Well, we've made some serious progress here on the bale grabber project. We got the skid steer quick attach plate mounted to part of the original mounts, which have been rearranged so they actually all fit onto the actual bale grabber frame. We got pins cut off so they fit in the spaces allowed. We welded on new shaft collars as basically bushings for the pins, so there is little to no slop on the hydraulic cylinder, and there are slopped holes, so it took me a little bit of figuring to get the grabber portion so when the cylinder is at max, it's resting against the stops and it's not going to bend anything. So that's perfect. So all we have left is running the hydraulic lines to the quick couplers for the third function, and we should have a functioning bale grapple. That is a lot of hard work, but it's now complete. It's a good feeling to have it done. Hey Roger, what are you working on?
Plowing your barn.
Nice, good job, buddy. You get that little tractor figured out. Pretty soon you'll be running something a little bigger. Good job, big fella. Good job. So Roger and I have been working on this bale grabber project for a few days on and off, and this is the rough fit up. So we got the quick attach mount welded on to the rearranged and redesigned mount, and we had a little bit of an issue on the inside for clearance. So when the bale grabber closes, it was actually hitting, and the original notch they had made was too small, so we had to grind it out and actually take a chunk of steel out of there, which is, I think, how Dad had originally bent the hydraulic cylinder that come with it. So they hadn't designed it to be able to close all the way. You could close to grab a bale, but if you went past, you just load up the piston and probably bend it. And I think that's how I was bending cylinders. This side I had already cleaned up because I had seen where it had been hitting, so I should have done both. We got the new hydraulic cylinder in. We got shortened pins so it doesn't hit. There's shaft collars tightened to top and bottom, welded up to make up for the loose holes where the pins have gone through. So there's no play on that cylinder anymore. So now we're on to the last step, which is taking and installing 2 hydraulic hoses. We're going to use the 90-degree couplers to go in on both sides, and then make up some whips to go up to the third function there. To start off with, I don't have the covering, but I ordered some of the spiral wrap that goes around hydraulic cylinders to armor them up. And that's coming in, and if it works well, I might actually do armor on all the loader hoses that are exposed here. Looking forward to see how that works. In the meantime, this looks awesome. It's coming along great. All right. So we're going about putting the fittings on this thing. So we get the bale grabber wrapped up. I'll show you what I've done. So the biggest thing is on hydraulic fittings is using an oil compatible pipe dope. The Teflon stuff can break off inside, ruin pumps. I've heard so many different things over the years, but regardless, the nice thing about the pipe dope is it does a really good job of sealing, and it's rare that you get a leak. So we're going to pipe dope our connections. Nice. So we got National Pipe Thread on the cylinders. So National Pipe Thread fitting. Then it goes to a swivel, and you always want swivels when it comes to hydraulic fittings attaching something that's firm. What do you mean not moving for you, buddy?
This right here is not moving for me.
It's not, huh?
No. Still not moving.
It isn't, huh? Alright, so we got two fittings going in. Let's see. I think I got way too long of hydraulic lines. Where did I put the fittings? Over here. Maybe not. That looks pretty close. I got a 72 in it, which is what, 6 feet? Short one, we're going to do closer to. I believe this is the longer one, 84 inches. So we'll do the longer one for the furthest run. Sad part is, I'm not sure which function I want where yet. Hey, buddy.
I have found this.
That's quite the hose you got there, boy.
I found my way.
Hey, pick one. We got a 50-50 shot here. Which one of these you want to put on?
That one first.
Okay, done deal. So you see this pipe dope, Roger, that we're putting on?
Mm-hmm.
This seals these threads up. So when we go to screw it on, it doesn't leak everywhere. We'll come back with the other wrench. Bale knife.
Hey, something fell down.
Yeah, we are close to being able to test this for the first time, Roger. Isn't that pretty exciting?
I'm gonna put some wire on you.
Alright. That goes on here.
Let's put some wire. Which one wire do you want?
I don't know, you take your pick.
This one I want, and this one you can take here.
Alright, hold on a second.
There's your wire.
Thank you. Alright, now I see. I want to go a little past.
Take your wire.
Hold on, your horses, boy.
I brought a board out.
Nice.
this is there. What did you say?
Alright, this is
What did you say?
under pressure connector, which is nice.
What did you say? Where was the thing shown?
Whoa, chill boy.
Where was the thing shown then?
I think you put it in the middle draw, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
There we go. There's the crew. 2 boys and mama. On the Kubota. This is the last wrap bale of the test project. There's Ruthie going in to grab her last bale. Having never operated a loader before, besides pulling fence posts on the chain, doesn't do too bad. That's on top of babysitting 2 boys in there too.